via potato today, but I've just got in. I'm booked solid today, so I had time to get in, turn the camera on, and print the photos, but not to set up the camera that I've been using this morning to now do this. So you get me on, this is what I guess I look like on FaceTime. That's scary. I should probably never FaceTime anybody. But anyway, let's go. So today, it's pretending to be Monday, but it is Tuesday, and we are going to scrapbook. We're going to make a starting point just like it is Monday, and then we're going to put some photos on it. But first, let's have a look at everything we've done so far with the same set of supplies. So this has all been made with the June kit. And here's what you will find on my channel from June. So we've got 4 3x4s, we've got 2 4x6, 3 3x4s, 1 6x8, 2 3x4s, 2 3x4s. And again, today I've printed 2 3x4s, so I'm in a little bit of a pattern there. But there we go. And yes, I've got my Beauty and the Beast dress on today because this morning in choir we were singing Be Our Guest. So there we are. So that's what we've done so far. You can find all of those on my channel. And today we're working with these right here. And it's a starting point, so I won't be working with the photos until we get something built. But I am using 2 3x4 photos today from our adventure yesterday. So while it was a Monday yesterday, there was no school, and we had a booking in a recording studio for WB to go. He recorded the stuff from shows he's been in so far so that he has kind of a little time capsule of what his voice sounded like at this point in his life, and then also recorded a voice reel, which is like all the different accents he can do, and a host of songs from his rep, plus a duet with me. Now, when we go to the recording studio, this is apparently his thing now, that he wants to finish with a duet with me. And last time we did this, which was a way back, and he picks the songs for the duet, by the way. And last time we did a song from High School Musical. So I was, you know, like a cute little ingenue teenager. This time he chose Little Priest from Sweeney Todd. So I am now the Cockney woman who bakes people into pies. So it's all downhill from here. It's way more fun to sing, though. So there we go. So we'll get the tracks back soon and see how they sound. But yeah, we did a Little Priest together. And he recorded all that other stuff on his own, and it was really, really lovely in that when he was going to bed last night, he was saying how wonderful a day it was, but also that he could remember the last time he'd done it, and he was like, I've really grown, like not in height, I've grown like as a person, as a performer, as a professional. And it was really nice for him to kind of realize and go, oh, last time I was here, it took me like so many takes to get a song right, and then I still wasn't 100% happy with what I had done, and I kind of was kind of okay about it, but I had moments on the tracks that I didn't like. And this time, even one of the songs he did in one take, and he was like, I actually am happy with that. But they had him do a second take just in case there were any artifacts in the recording where they need to take out pops or anything like that. But to just go in and one take it, that's all right. So proud of my boy. Always. Okay, so this is what we're going to be using today, but I'm going to put the photos away for now. But just so you can see, we've got 2 3x4s, and by the way, they're going to be this way because we're going to work on a composition that comes from the sides and goes into the middle. So I've got one photo over here, it's going to be facing in, and one photo over here, it's going to be facing in. Cool? That's what we're going to do today. Back to potato can, just for a moment. Da, da, da. Potato can. Hi, my name is Shimelle. I teach online scrapbooking classes, design scrapbooking products, and help you use them to tell your stories in a creative way. It's not just my hobby, it is my job, and that means any time I scrapbook on the internet, I'm legally required to make sure you know, it's advertising. It's considered advertising. So thank you for coming to watch my hashtag advertising. I appreciate you being here, whether you are live, chatty, watch from Tomorrowland, quiet, craft, don't craft, think about coming back to craft, all of it. You can find all the links that you probably need in the description box. That includes all the supplies I'm using today. That's June. All the supplies I'll be using next month, that's July, which you could go ahead and assemble either by shopping or by getting it out of your own collection, just something similar. And then you can scrap along with me during all these videos and have a big stack of layouts at the end of the month to be like, hey, I actually did that craft that I like. Cool. You can also find links there to where I teach classes. I teach classes at Shimelle.com, and the top post at Shimelle.com has stuff that's current that you can sign up for if you wanted to learn more about layering, if you wanted to use your punches more, or if you've got a whole bunch of old paper and stickers and die cuts and old stash in general and you want a push to make new pages with them, I have all of that you can sign up for at Shimelle.com. It's right at the top. Just read down and pick what applies to you and sign up. You can also find my Instagram, my Facebook group in the description box there too. I hope that helps. And my collections with affiliate links, and I really, really, really super duper appreciate it when you shop through my affiliate links because it makes all this possible. Thank you. Let's get back to the desk cam. There we go. Nope, that didn't do it. Hold on. It's the wrong. Potato cam doesn't work off this. That's the normal one. Hold on. It'll be this button here. Be gone, potato cam. All right. Here we are. So, oh, Virginia says it's Tuesday pretending to be Friday for her because she has a college tour at Vanderbilt with her rising senior. Well done. Amazing. Right, we've got this pink, which is from the background pack, Vicky B's Floral Emporium set of backgrounds. And then we've got this one, which is Simple Stories, Sunny Days, and this paper is called Stay Bright, and it has beautiful patchworky clouds. And we are going to work on a composition that takes everything from the outside in. Now, if you're new to starting points, because apparently we've picked up a few newbies along the way, and that's awesome. But I didn't realize that I was confusing people last week. So let's have a little introduction. So starting points means that we make a layout up to a point without photos, and then you carry it on in the way that you want to carry it on. So that might mean that your photos are a different size. It might mean that you add lots more embellishment. It might mean that you take some of the embellishment off. It might mean that you journal a lot, journal a little, journal not at all, but you make me sad. But it's okay, I'll allow it. And that's where we're going. So we do all this stuff before we put the photos on, take a little picture, and then we finish it up with the photos. So you will see the whole completed thing, except the only thing I don't do on screen, I tend not to do the journaling until later, because it's high pressure to just sit here and write while you're all there watching. But I have a little plan usually, and today I do, for where the starting point is going to go. So we start with that. So this starting point is going to move in like this, from two directions. It's like I have one car in traffic here and one car in traffic here, and they're going to come in, and this is where they're going to stop. So we want to keep this open valley in the middle, but there's actually going to be a little bit of a river like that, or an English road rather than an American road. It's not straight. It's going to have this little curviness to it. So one photo will be down here, and one photo will be up here. But that's how I'm doing it. It's not how you have to do it, right? So, I'm going to try this double-sided sketch thing. Oh, now they'd be the other way. It doesn't work. Okay, hold on. So we will have, when I draw stars, those are embellishments, okay? So there'll be embellishments in these two areas. And there's going to be a whole bunch of paper. Some torn, some straight. Yeah? But we want to keep this wiggly space clear in the middle. So this is what we're going to build. And then I'll finish the sketch so that you can have a finished version over here, because I haven't been sketching very much lately. All right, so like that to start. Where's my button where I can see all of you? Oh, there you went. Okay. So I have this as my background, bright pink. Oh goodness, Rebecca says every year she goes to a retreat and she is never ever ready. Always manages to leave everything for the last minute and ends up taking far too much. I will say, if you always find that you end up just packing your entire craft room into the car, go to a retreat by public transport or by getting a lift with somebody just once, and it will make you realize how much you can get done with just what you can carry. Georgia, however, is hashtag organized. She's half packed and the retreat isn't till what, the weekend? Amazing. Okay, so then let me take the branding strip off this one, but we are going to start with this gorgeous paper and get 2 torn strips of it, one for each side. Because this is my pretty paper, and I want to make sure that it's a big feature. Like that. And like that. Now let's see how the river looks. The river could be more interesting. Maybe the river needs to go that way a little bit. So I think take a little bit off this edge. Georgia says she is ready, but this weekend is not a travel light weekend. That's okay. But she can do it if needed. She's done it on the train. I did not go to West End Live. It was crazy hot. And WB needed to be in places that were not Trafalgar Square. So for the first year in a few years, did not go to West End Live, but did watch a lot of footage with, you know, in a cooler place, not in the bright sun. Okay, so taking this strip off, I can actually use this here. Could also use this pink that I cut off that was the branding strip. Don't see why not. So, oh, Annalise, you know what I'm going to say. Annalise says, of course your torn paper looks like it should. Oh, did you just delete it? But the answer is practice. Just tear up a lot of paper and you'll get better at tearing paper. Oh, destructive but true. So start tearing up your junk mail when you put it into the recycling bin. It's just practice. Just like scissors. It's just practice. Do it a lot and you'll have it. But you didn't need to delete it. It was cute. It wasn't embarrassing. You can say things like that. I don't mind. Georgia did a crop last weekend and just took a backpack and a little kit. Amazing. But Georgia this weekend is hashtag do all the things. I love it. I love it. Oh, speaking of it being hot, it's still hot in my house. I think I'm going to put my little desk fan back on. I charged it, so I'm going to bring it back. Somehow, it is hotter in my house than it was in the church where we sang today. Right. Oh, I did charge it. Why are you not working? I charged you. There we go. It was just grumpy. Oh. Okay, well, we'll see how long it lasts. Apparently, it only has 1 speed mode today. You know it's hot when the fan has given up. Okay. Allison watched some of West End Live on YouTube, and it looked really hot. Yeah. It was, like, hot enough that there were health advisories in place, so that's too hot for me. Right, other colors that we're going to bring in here. That's my full pages. I just want scraps. So we can bring in some this green and this green. Let's start there. Oh, and I was going to cut one more strip of yellow so we can have the sunshines for both sides. But I also want some clouds to cut out. So can I do that? tiny little bit. So if I do that much, then I've got 1, 2, yeah, that's fine. I've got 4 or 5 clouds there. Okay. So I've got yellow for both sides. George's desk fan is peach colored. That's adorable. Mine is just what was at the till one day when it was hot. No color choice allowed. Oh. Georgia bought a new scrappy toy, the Sweet Petunia Nouveau glue press, and she says it's a game changer and so easy to use the glue now. I don't know what this is. I'm Googling. Right. Nouveau glue press. Comes right up. Oh. Hold on. No, I'm still not sure what it is. Hold on. So it makes normal glue kind of like a hot glue gun? Am I completely missing the point? Or is that semi-accurate? Okay. I think I want the green torn as well. Notice, concentrating, not talking. It's like an exam in Terry. I end up with that. I like that. Okay, so I can. No banging the table and no He-Man strength required. I'm so confused. When were we banging the table? I don't understand, but I have a feeling. I have a feeling. I have a theory. I have a theory. Is it because I've never got to the end of a bottle of glue? Is this useful? Because if you get to the last quarter of the bottle of glue, it's a constant struggle to get any more glue from it. Because my leave-in conditioner is like that. But I never get to the end of a bottle of glue. Of course I don't. Okay. Georgia says she really struggles with glue and has a fight every time, but not now. With glue, you have to smack the bottle against the table to get it to move. No. So, and okay, I don't use wet glue often, and here's how I use wet glue. Open bottle, paintbrush in. This is how I use wet glue. I had to do it last week because what I do have to use it for is blinging dance costumes. Oh, Fan, it was a nice time, those 3 minutes. Okay, it died. So yeah, I use it with a paintbrush, and I don't use it often. I almost never use it on paper, but I do use it on sequins, on fabric. Right, Georgia says hers always gets clogged and glues itself shut, so she never gets to the end and has to buy new ones after cutting the top off so many times. But with the glue press, it's a miracle it works how it's supposed to work. Got it. Right. So I should not be buying one because clearly this is not a problem that I need a solution to. But I'm glad that there is a solution for those who have found this a problem because the problem sounds frustrating. George is going to put a video on her Insta later to show it. I've never once banged a bottle of glue on a table, even my sequin glue, but I use a paintbrush, so I'm not trying to get it out the top. Amazing. So confusing, but so amazing. You learn something new every day, right here. All right, we got that torn and that torn. How's our river looking? It's okay. Boop, 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 boop. Right. Oh, that's an excellent question. Right. Rebecca wants to know, does it only work with Nuvo, or can you put other bottles of glue in it? Okay. Now, what am I thinking about these straight yellow lines? Because my original sketch, I did have them straight, but I'm not loving them straight. Can I tear something that little? Shall I try? I mean, what have I got to lose? It's a strip of paper, right? And I've got, oh, I could use that bit, but remember, these are the clouds I want to cut out. Let's try this first. I'm not worried about creating that curve here. Just torn yellow paper. That's fine. All right, and it's our final week at Starlight. Wow. There you are. Annalise thinks that the yellow is distracting from the river and the clouds. I think it's just going to be a little bit of yellow at the edges. All right. So yeah, last week we've got two show days, Thursday and Saturday, and that's his final bow. And I would say, and then I don't have to go to Wembley, but then we're immediately going the next day to Wembley. But then we're done for a while. As far as I'm aware, then we're done. Do I bring the pink back in? Something different on this side. How small can I tear? Yeah, if you wanted to be a little bit more literal with this, use the blue or the brown in the back instead of the pink, and then you'll have a more literal river in the middle of your page. Clouds and a river. But I'm not going for a literal river at all. It's just a handy metaphor. Okay, let's stick these. Yeah, it is emotional. It was funny that he was probably more emotional when the adult cast change happened a couple weeks ago, because that's like the people that he's been working with all this time and miss seeing them. So I don't know how emotional he will get. In the past, it came a few weeks later, because at first, when you first get a break, you enjoy the break, right? But then after the honeymoon period has worn off, then you're like, oh, I don't have this thing in my life that I had in my life. Yeah. So there we are. And I think we're going back to watch Les Mis, not to work, just to watch, because they have a new cast coming in for the 40th anniversary, and so some of the lead actors that he worked with are taking their final bow, and he finds it kind of hard to imagine that they would be going, and he doesn't want to miss like the chance to have seen them once more. So we go back and especially see his Javert. Yeah. once more before he leaves. I think he's got maybe 2 weeks left. Not long. So we got to make a trip there. But that's a lot closer than Wembley. I would not mind going back to working West End instead of far away. So much easier. But, you know, we do what we have to do. Allison says, does it look like a whole summer off? It's way too early to tell. He is a busy boy trying to book stuff, so we'll see what happens. He might book something, he might not. If he has the summer off, then he'll train all summer. If he doesn't, he'll go back to work. Who knows? I just try and keep up with him. That's all I can do. Oh, Jessica says we want to catch at least one show while we're in the city at the end of August. It'll be her husband, her almost 15-year-old, the 15-year-old's best friend or your best friend? I think your best friend and your parents. That's a good crowd. Wow. Is there, like, you want a musical? Do you want to play? Do you want something serious? Do you want something super funny? What are you thinking? So we've got this much happening here. But remember, we're going to have embellishment here and here. So I'm going to adhere this, but I'm going to leave a big gap here so that I can tuck things under here and a big gap here, right? Georgia Rebecca needs your Insta name, please. It's the_scrappy_unicorn. Christina is here with her newborn. Aw, a week old today. Congratulations and welcome to our little wonderful world here. Okay, so I think this dark green will be great for mats, so I'm not going to cut it and add it right now. I am, however, going to cut out some clouds. What do we got here? We've got this one. This one. This one. This one. This is almost a whole one, so we could tuck it underneath if we wanted. Those are all pretty partial. Okay. Georgia needs many a museum Monday, it sounds like. You just need to come to town to go to museum gift shops and museums. Come on to town. A bunch of them are air conditioned. Oh, Christina says she's not normally here live because it's the middle of the night. But hey, newborn says anytime. So you are totally welcome here. And you know what? If you get stuck, I have a many hours of back catalog should you like to listen to random rubbish while you have to stay awake. Because sometimes you just got to find whatever is not going to wake you up too much, but not going to let you drop off to sleep with a newborn. So if we can help, we're here. Otherwise, don't worry. But I hope that you are both doing very well and all is well and happy in your world aside from being awake at funny hours. And I'm afraid that's just part of the game, but you will be fabulous at it. All right, let's see what we can do here. 2. WB asked me one day, because he knows he was not a natural sleeper. He did not learn to sleep until he was considerably older than anyone would like. But hey, it's okay. It turns out his brain needed to do stuff, and it's all right. But it was very tiring. So anyway, he knows this story, and he asked me the other day in all seriousness. He said, "Do you ever miss me waking up at all hours of the day, all hours of the night? Do I miss it? Am I allowed to say I don't miss that part?" Oh. So, Kelly, I think the Facebook stuff is there like literally any day now. The old videos are going to disappear. I've grabbed a lot of them to be able to archive them elsewhere. I don't think I have the whole lot yet, and so I'm cutting it fine. Originally, they said my videos would disappear on the 4th of June, but then they extended that. I don't know how long I've got, but every day I go in and try and download a bit more. Okay, is that what I had? 4? No, here, 5. Thought I had 5. And we're gonna need some Papillos today. I told him I don't miss it, but I also don't begrudge it. And I think that's fair enough. And he seemed happy enough with that response. I do find it funny that he was a tiny baby who scoffed at the idea of bedtime. And now he just works late into the night. What is that about? No. And we all talk, almost all of the kids have the same problem, that because they are not in bed until like midnight on a show night, it's really hard to get them to go to bed earlier on other nights and just be a normal kid and go to bed before 9. Sometimes they're like, nope, this is my schedule now. And you're like, I regret to inform you, but no, it's not your schedule. Yeah, Annalise, Facebook is getting rid of the idea that you could hold your Facebook Live archive indefinitely. So anything that's older than 30 days on an account that's still a person who's alive, then they're going to delete all of the old live streams. So I'm trying to download all of them to be able to put them up somewhere else. There is the caveat that, I think they call it memorialized accounts, which is when it's a Facebook account for someone who's passed away and they have like verification of that. Those accounts aren't going to disappear. But if you're still alive and kicking, then they're going to delete it all. Yeah. So there we go. All right. So we want some embellishment here and some embellishment there. This side is slightly bigger, so I think 2 here and 3 there. This one we're going to tuck underneath. Is that about where the photo's going to go probably? I think this is okay. You could always move it further down if need be. And then we'll do that one. Oh no, I need to do one of the polka dots here because I have 2 that are pretty similar. Okay, but let's do the other side. Oh, it's here. It's this in the pattern repeat. Okay, so maybe I do that one. And then here, this is that one. We do there. Okay, Papillos, Papillos. Pop it up with Papillos. So that one's flat. This one's gonna pop. Jessica is also taking daughter's best friend who's 14, probably want a musical, probably funny. All the girls just love theater and easy to please, the men not so much, trying to appeal to the masses. Okay. So let's have a think about what that might be. Funny musicals. I mean, Oliver is not unfunny, but it's not funny the whole way through. But it has its funny moments. And what else we got? Let's do one tucked in and two popped. Mean Girls is already closed. Clueless. Clueless the musical is a thing and will be open. What else we got? Gonna match this one up like that. Oh yeah, the Hercules musical. That's definitely one to look for. I would reckon that the men in your group will highly dislike 6. I'm just going to throw that out there. And Julia is not in London. Right. Back to the Future is possibly a good call. Is there anything that's on that they've already seen? Where's this photo going? Oh, that's going to, I think that'll get covered actually, but anyway, we're going to move this one over here. No, Jessica and her daughter have seen pretty much everything, but she'll see it all again. No problem. Okay. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, die cuts. Considered Hercules, but reviews have been mixed. So, Hercules. Can I be really blunt about why one of the big reasons that Hercules is getting mixed reviews? And I saw it again when they released the Frozen Pro Shot. There's a certain part of the world that has a problem if you turn a cartoon into a stage musical that the people do not look like the cartoon. They're wrong. But it makes people instantly go, that's not Hercules, or that's not Elsa, or that, and it's weird. Don't do it. It's a stage musical. It's its own entity. It does not need to look like people who are drawings. And I have the same opinion about it as someone once pointed out to me when I was on a bus at Disney World, and I was Disney bounding as Anna from Frozen, and I had my hair in 2 braids like Anna does. And I jokingly said to the woman next to me, it's really unfair because I thought I had a lot of hair until I put it in these braids and compared it to Anna because it looks like I have no hair at all by comparison. And she laughed, and her husband looked at me and said, honey, you are comparing your hair to a drawing. And I just thought, oh, I needed someone to say that and put the thought in my head. And it's the exact same thing that people do not need to look like they do in an animation to be amazingly talented on stage. So there you go. The comments on like Instagram posts about the Frozen Pro Shot on Disney Plus made my teeth grit because no, it's not the comment to make. It's not smart. People don't need to look the same as they do in a cartoon. So there we go. Jessica's like, that's exactly the critique I've heard. There you go. Hercules is an immensely talented performer. Let's just leave it at that. The rest does not come into it, and it makes me very upset. Yeah. So there's that. Hercules as a musical, there is always going to be the little bit of odd, that issue aside, entirely taken out. There's always going to be a little bit of people going, but could you, because there's things, you know, like you're up in the clouds. How are you going to do that on stage? So, you know, it's a little wacky and weird. The muses are amazing. Georgia votes to just look like Rapunzel from Tangled. I think all of us do, yes. And in fact, I would take the long or the short hair idea. Yeah, they both look gorgeous on her. I would happily look like that cartoon. Okay, so yeah, Hercules. Evita's going to be too serious, even though it's going to be epic. I'm guessing the girls are going to wish they'd seen Evita. But I'd be surprised if you have non-musical theater going men. I'd be surprised if they want to see Evita. I'll give you a live report on Evita very soon. Are you getting a weird visual thing, or is it just on my monitor here? So, yeah. Right. I'm glad that my soapbox was okay. Anybody who didn't agree with it went silently rather than argue back. So I'm glad that it seems that we're all in agreement. Oh, Georgia says, yes, we are getting a weird... Yeah, it's on YouTube's end. I just checked to see if we were fine here. And the data going up to YouTube is good and it's not frozen. But something on YouTube's end is weird. Have I got anything strange about my internet connection? Nope. That looks fine. So I think just hang in there. Probably just a momentary glitch. Sorry about that. Okay, what we got? Details, my heart, fun, story. The purple, remember, because I used remember also in purple from the other set. I used the other purple remember, so we could use this purple remember. What do we have in pink? Sweet. Story. But also, what about the thickers? What about that blue? Should we do a big deal? That one? Okay. I just took these out for fun. Oh, Sarah had this problem last night too, and it's gremlins. Yeah, so YouTube must be a bit overwhelmed. All right, so we'll keep those. I think we'll put the title over here. Okay. So let's go ahead and snap, crackle, pop here. Small earthquake incoming. There we are. Okay. Now, photos. Bend and snap. Do, 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 do. Right. Lane, I love it. She says, y'all are okay. We can go the distance. Yes, you can. Jessica says, Hercules is definitely in the running. We love Six, Wicked, and Hamilton. Of course, would not be against seeing them again. Wicked, Zizi Strawlin is our current Glinda in Wicked. Now, I haven't seen the new cast of Wicked. New Elphaba, new everybody. All new adult cast. I have seen Zizi in lots of other things. She's immensely talented. She was our Mary Poppins for a very long time when Mary Poppins was in the West End. And quite uncannily, Mary Poppins. Like, Mary Poppins is a hard role to play because Mary Poppins is Julie Andrews, right? Julie Andrews is Mary Poppins. It's very hard to separate the two. Now, yeah, she makes a brilliant Mary Poppins. Anyway, great voice, amazing dancer. So she's Glinda, and I have also seen the new Fiyero, which I believe he did Fiyero on tour, but that's not what I've seen him in. I've seen him in, I want to say, Anne Juliet and some other stuff, and he's great. And I've heard everybody say he is as excellent as you expect him to be as Fiyero. So that sounds great. The only thing to know about seeing Wicked in London, why they won't upgrade the sound system in that giant theater, I do not know. But if you can sit up front, it's a whole different show than sitting at the back because the sound is not great. and it saddens me a lot. I had seen it from the back and was kind of like, you know what, Wicked, I could take it or leave it. And then WB went through a Wicked obsession when he was, well, a couple years back. We sat in the 5th row and I was like, hold the phone! This is actually brilliant! So yeah, the sound is not great. And for some reason, so much in the top seats, I want to say cheap seats, but they're not particularly cheap. You know what I mean. But the cheaper seats, there's a lot of weird behavior at this show. There's an awful lot of people bringing in a whole picnic and just eating a 3-course dinner while they watch Wicked. It's not dinner theater. And I'm not going to be mean to you if you just have a packet of sweets or something, but why are we bringing in 3-course meal? We don't need to do that. And I've seen that multiple times at Wicked and nowhere else. I mean, I have seen poor behavior in theater audiences everywhere, but that one multiple times at the same show. I don't know what it is. So anyway, annoyingly, I think the expensive seats are the way to go, but you can get, they do Rush, not Rush, theirs is called the Daily Dozen, but anyway, Today Takes. You can look out for good stuff there. Okay, let's map these in green. Jessica is trying to visualize Mary Poppins as Glinda. I know, but it does work. I think, Corey, that cast change would have been after you were here. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure it was after that. They came in right at the end of March, 25th. When were you here? So yeah, I can't remember. I know when you were here, and yet I can't remember if you would have seen the old cast in their last couple days or the new cast in their first couple days. You saw one or the other. Yeah. Allison is going to see Dear Evan Hansen in Edinburgh, the touring production with Ryan Koppel. He's amazing. Enjoy. WB did a masterclass with him last autumn with a Dear Evan Hansen song. They did Waving Through a Window. And he was also Davy in Newsies. So we have seen many a show with him. And I have also heard that if he's not on, his understudy is apparently epic. So you get a good run either way. Not that anybody gets to these roles without being epic. You know. Corey went last minute in the front balcony, and everybody was well behaved. I'm so glad. I will say, don't be quiet. I mean, be quiet when you're going to the theater. But if someone is misbehaving near you, namely if they're on their phone, tell them. I am a totally different person having got up the nerve to do this, because otherwise I silently stew for my 100-pound ticket, having it ruined by someone who's reading their email or checking their stocks during the show. And I just got to a point where I just look over and I say, please don't do that. And then I go back to the show. And if they continue, I will say, no, really, please don't do that. And if I have to ask a third time, I am getting an usher and embarrassing somebody. So I gave you 2 warnings. I was very pleased, not pleased, I was very polite, and I didn't escalate anything. I just letting you know that it's not good. And this is where I am with my theater going. All right, so if we put the photos into these little cloud frames, I have only just lost this one, and I think I'll bring it out the other side. This is a little lower than I kind of planned, so I might move this one up a little bit. Oh, Jessica, you are good to talk about theater anytime here. If the audience didn't like theater, they've already left me by now. So we're cool. We're cool. Oh, also thank you for people who gave my little first dinner and a show posts a thumbs up, a little heart. I mean, I was so glad that they didn't like totally bomb, and I didn't get anybody going, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe you did that." Nobody did. And I got lots of cute little notes going, "You get that free dinner, girl." And I was like, "Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad you understand." So I'm gonna have free dinners. The funny part is, did I tell you that I'm pretty sure, unless I missed the deadline, but I think one of them is going to be Dunkin' Donuts. So that's like girl dinner and a show, right? It's not a real meal, it's just donuts. But hey, free donuts. All right. It's not free. I have to do 2 posts for them. 2 stories posts. But it will always say #ad. It will always be honest. I won't say nice things about something I didn't like. Just in case you ever wonder, if I were to ever have something that like I thought it was horrible and I wouldn't want to recommend, I always go back to the place and say, would you prefer I not mention it at all or I give an honest review? Usually they pick not mention it at all and they just say no worries and they write me off. And they probably are like, well, we're not inviting her back again, but equally, if I didn't like it, I don't want to go back again anyway. So I will only tell you nice things that are honest. Georgia and Jessica are like, we are here in the right place. We like the theater. Do you think we can make this one work? Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Good vibes. And then we'll put the blue big deal words up here. Yay! I'm glad that you're looking forward to dinner and a show reviews. I'm glad they can be helpful. Yay! I like it when a plan makes sense and it works and it can be read. It's going to have to go over the green. Okay. But I like it with the green. I need to cut this side down, don't I? See, I posted the first one last week, and then I think what I'll do is once I've got a couple, I'll put them in a little highlight. So then it's easy to find if you're coming to town and you're like, oh, what were those places that she said I could get dinner? I'll just do that. Okay, can we read that? I don't love that it's not against the green here, but it's not a game changer. Deal breaker. Those things. Jessica comes here. Oh, Elaine's bothered by me using half a cliche and not the rest of it. I love it when a plan comes together. To feel better if I say the whole thing. I wasn't actually thinking of it that way, but that's hilarious. Okay, blue wording up here. Oh, in this space, in this space, this space. It's going to be easier to read on the pink. Georgia wants to go see an exhibition. What do you want to see? What do you want to see? Oh, you just like the idea of going to an exhibition. You're not quite sure which one yet. Rebecca says, where are these reviews? I put them on Instagram stories. That's the deal. They get 2 little slides on Instagram stories. So the one that I did last week has already disappeared. But once I do the second one, I'll put it in a highlight so that they both stick around. But it looks, if I just put one in the highlight, then it looks like an entire ad for one thing. And that's not the concept. Although it was nice that the first place that offered was a place that we already go and like. So that was cool. That I've probably, paid a small fortune to over the last year. Okay. I have blocked my river. But it's okay. What else are we going to put in this? It needs stuff. That blue's got to come down here. There's no more of it on there. What's in the die cut bowl? This one can work here. Here. Yeah. Last year for her birthday, Georgia did the Barbie exhibit and 6 Lives. Very nice. I think I want to take the tag part off the top. I need a writing block. Were any of these journaling cards? They're just accents. They've stopped having many journaling cards in their cut apart because then they have a whole page that's nothing but that, just journaling cards. So let's have a look. We had ledgers and things though in this pack, so I can find another piece that might work. But I've already used the green to matte here, so I can't use that for the writing. I don't really want to bring in the brown. Oh, but I've got a pink piece there. Oh, you did the cute exhibit last year. That was so funny because I know so many people who went that were just completely shocked because it wasn't anything like what they expected. And I think they really did just expect it to be room after room after room of cute stuff. Instead of it being like an exhibit about what does cute mean to society. What is the concept of cute? So if I tuck that in there and then underneath here. Repositionable adhesive. Oh, Jessica, the Barbie exhibit's already gone. It was last year. We had Barbie and Care Bears. I need to lose just a little bit at the top, I think. Because I want it to be shorter than the photo. There we are. I got journaling space there, which is going to look really blocky right now, but will look less blocky once it actually has writing on it. And let's see. Anything else from... I gotta take some pictures of snacks because we got all the snack foods in this collection. And here I am just eating food without taking pictures of it. Too big. Irrelevant, but the right size. Okay. Oh, this die cut bowl, the small die cut bowl. So Annalise says it's a small bowl for die cuts. I see the utility in it, but in my imagination, the die cut bowl was much larger. This is just one pack of die cut. This is a bowl for just one pack. And this is a bowl for like 2 packs. And then the die cut bowl, which used to be a Pyrex casserole dish, but when I moved into this studio, it didn't fit. And this does. So this is the die cut bowl. So once I've used something like this to the point where I'm kind of done using it like that, it goes in here. Yep, that's the die cut bowl. Of course, now I'm distracted looking in this drawer going, is there anything in here that could work? And I don't really need anything from it. Yeah, I think this is bringing in too much of something different. Okay. But let's get these going, and I can use this darker color this time. And we're going to go either side of each photo. Plus one more. So 1, 2. Got a little gap here, so we're going to do this side. And this side. But then we're going to find one more place. I think it needs to be here. Jackie says, I'm just getting back to scrapbooking. Any videos you can recommend? Is your stash like old stash, or have you gone and bought some new stuff? That's question number 1. Question number 2, do you like your videos sped up or in real time so that you can scrap along with them? Give me those 2 preferences and I shall point you where I think you will find the most help. Okay, gold mist around the spots where the enamel dots are. I think it needs a little bit of this. Hello. Right, let's do some teeny tiny green butterflies. So that dark green only appears here. We're going to use it as a confetti. There we go. And in its own little way, the butterflies are topical because the recording studio has a little garden and it was absolutely filled with butterflies yesterday. So as he was singing, he was watching them fly past the window, and every once in a while you'd just see his hand go, and it's like he's just pointing them out in the window. So that was cute. So mildly topical. Right, let's take all these little butterflies. Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, reading rainbow. I can go anywhere. Right, sorry, you're probably fed up of me now. Let's go, we got some butterflies there. Let's do a butterfly up here. Yay! Kelly loves I love layers. Amazing. Let's go this side of the title. Sarah wants to try this one. I'm honored. So let's talk about how you would change this up. Since this is a starting point, you could do lots of different things. Now, keep in mind, you could do this with 2 horizontal, like landscape 4x6s, and just drop these 2 cards. You could journal on what's here, or you could use a paper here that you could journal on. Yeah. Somebody asked, how old is WB? Lauren says, how old is WB? He's 11. He was just 11 in the spring. Yeah. He's still very small, but he has matured a bit, yes. Do I want to do all 5, or is that too many? 4 is so weird that I feel like it needs to be 5. me come down a little bit. Okay. And then and George is like, how can he be 11? I know, going to secondary school. Oh, Jessica says, are there any behind the scenes theater tours? I really recommend the one at the Opera House. Have a look now because it does book out. But my gracious, the lady, if you get the goddess, you can see her on, she does all their marketing on like TikTok videos and stuff like that. But I could listen to her talk all day. She is an immense font of knowledge and elegant all at the same time, and also just kind and lovely and wonderful. So yes, I really recommend the tours at the Opera House. If the behind the stage things they do, one's about costuming, it just depends on what shows are on at the time as to what they offer, but they're really good. Oh, that's a point. Fiddler is also on. I forgot all about that. Fiddler is on at the Barbican. Shucked just finished at the open air, but Brigadoon is playing. I'm not sure if Brigadoon closes before you get here. But I wouldn't think, if you're wanting like lighthearted comedy, I probably wouldn't go for Brigadoon. But if you love a golden age musical and want to see a nice fresh take on it, then by all means. Yeah. Okay, where are we gonna go here? That one. To there. And I think I'm gonna leave this one and this one as just 2. And not a set of 3. But we like the mix of we like bringing the butterflies in, yeah, as added confetti, yeah. Also, Jessica, Drury Lane, Theatre Royal Drury Lane, where Hercules is, they have a tour and a quite fancy afternoon tea in a theater kind of situation. Yeah. Jessica says, I'm really enjoying these atypical non-linear layout styles. I gravitate towards standard side-by-side picture layout, but love that this is pulling out of my comfort zone. Yay! Corey says, Brigadoon makes her brain circle back to Schmigadoon and makes me want to watch it again and again. Me too. I feel like Schmigadoon is worth my Apple Plus subscription. I love Schmigadoon, and I'm so sad that they canceled season 3, which was going to be like the era of Les Mis and Phantom and Cats, and I think it would have just been amazing. But sad times. We're not worth it. Apple TV says no. Maybe some other thing will surprise us one day, but I love it. Right, so this is going to have writing. I kind of want to put gems in the butterflies, and then that'd be done. Call that done. So let's see about some gems, shall we? Have I got some teeny tiny little sparklies? They're not in the kit, but might have some stashed. Let's see what we have. Not pearls. I was thinking more rhinestoney. And not giant rhinestones, which just popped out in this basket that I'm looking through. I want teeny tiny little sparkles. How big are those? Those might work. They're actually glitter enamel dots rather than gems. Oh, or those are clear. I keep forgetting I bought those clear ones. Remember when I was like, I'll buy them and we'll see what we can do with them. The answer is I can forget that I own them and leave them in my stash. What? Okay. Let's look at these 2 options, because what I was imagining I do not have. So we could do clear little droplets in the middle. Or we could do, oh, let's bring in the hot pink. Okay, never mind. I just wish they were a tiny bit smaller, but it's okay. And then should I do this size here? Like, dislike? Oh, thank you for people who are recommending classes. It's amazing. Thank you. Okay, so we just do. Rebecca is singing, "I'm just a rhinestone cowboy." I don't know the rest of the words to that song, so that's where I'm going to stop. I have Under the Sea stuck in my head. And have I told you what happened about Under the Sea at choir? Did I tell you? Did I tell you? I can't remember if I've already told you. I don't want to bore you. So we're doing a medley, which has the numbers from the Disney stage shows that are like the big production numbers. So it has Under the Sea, Just Can't Wait to Be King, and Be Our Guest. Yeah, those three. And our choir has a running joke that our choir leader always wants us off book ASAP, and the choir as a whole doesn't really want to be off book ASAP or lacks the confidence to be like, yeah, I totally know it, and just kind of likes the comfort of the music. I quite like being off book because, well, now that I have glasses where I can see both the music and the conductor with the same glasses, it's a little easier, but I got to a point where I could not see. I had to pick. Do I want the glasses that let me see the sheet music or the glasses that let me see the conductor? I didn't have glasses that did both, but now I do. So that bit is a little easier, but I had got used to being off book just for that practicality. Anyway, it's a running joke. So we're doing Under the Sea, and there's a fish wrap in Under the Sea. Yes? Do we know what I mean when I say the fish wrap? The newt play the flute, the carp play the harp, the place play the bass, and they sound as sharp, the smell, yeah? Okay. Yeah. So I just mixed two verses up, but you're going to let that pass because I'm just trying to talk to you. Anyway, so people come in. The way our choir works is that the week before, you know what you're supposed to prep for the next rehearsal. So you're supposed to go away and learn your part and then come in, and then we just make it good. You're not supposed to be like flat out learning it in the room usually. And so everybody came in going, oh, no, I can't, I'm never going to be off book because of the fish wrap. I'm never going to be off book for the fish wrap. I can't remember the fish. I didn't know this conversation was happening, and I walked into the church in a Little Mermaid t-shirt singing. The newt play the flute, the carp play the harp, the place play and bass, and they sound and sharp, the bass play the brass, the chub play the tub, the fluke is the Duke of Soul. Yeah. And apparently they went, never mind, we have to learn it. So it's hilarious. But I didn't realize that not even MT types always know the fish wrap. And it's really useful to learn in case you ever have to do a general knowledge quiz of how many fish can you name. At least 3 instances in my life that rap has got me through and got extra points in a general knowledge quiz by knowing more fish. Right, this is where we're going to finish for today. Journaling's going to go here. You can have a little zoom in here. This one and the little clouds are popped up, which I'm quite happy about. And then I'll write all the stuff about his wonderful day in the studio. I'll probably do a second layout about our duet, maybe. I didn't think I would because I didn't take any pictures of us, but the guys in the studio were sneaky, and they took a video of us from the monitor feed. So I might just screenshot something from there and journal about it, but I'm going to wait to make that decision until I've heard the recording and see if I want to admit that it's my voice or not. And Jessica, if you're here in August, we're probably not performing anywhere. But I will keep you in the loop. Right. Have a wonderful week. I'm back normal time Friday morning, 10 a.m. And then there's class videos all week. And if you're in New Pages from Old Stash and you haven't signed in as of like yesterday, there's a start of like a new set of videos in there. We've started the second half of the course, and it starts with a challenge to do this, and then another video that challenges you to do that, blah, blah, blah. And I finished an entire sticker book that had been in my stash since like 2012, at least. No, 2011. 2011, it had been in my stash since, and I finished every last sticker, so you can too. I will see you very soon. If you enjoyed this video, you want to give it a thumbs up, that'd be super duper awesome, and would be even more awesome if you go take class. Love you. Have a great week. I'm so glad you're here. Bye, bye, bye. Thank you.